Home, the business Elon brings to one local homeowner looking to make some money.
And overcoming cancer with passion, how a woman is sharing her love of art and butterflies with the community.
Those stories and more.
Elon Local News starts right now.
Live from the Jane and Brian Williams studio at Elon University School of Communications, you're watching Elon Local News.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Brian Ray.
And I'm Maeve Ashbrook.
Change could be on the way for North Carolina's political representation. Our Ashley Moran has more.
The presidential election may not be the biggest 2020 election for North Carolina. New legislatures may emerge and decide district lines for the next decade. This means every vote matters, all the way down the ballot. Alamance County community members gathered at Burlington Beer Works Saturday to toast Democratic Representative nominee Eric Henry's campaign. While Henry is pushing for more Democratic representation in the state, he says the answer to the state's problems is not simply red or blue.
Not one party, not one person has all the answers. The answers could be across the aisle. We need to look for compromise to do that.
Chair for Alamance County Democratic Party, Elaine Berry, says this compromise relies on more people getting involved.
If you don't like what you see going on today, be part of the solution.
And according to Elon Sr. and Young Dems of Alamance President Emma Greenberg, a big problem is right here on Elon's campus.
College students don't vote. We don't get our voices heard, and that means nobody's representing issues that are specific and important to us.
Greenberg says young voters need to break out of the Elon bubble.
We're inheriting all of this, so let's make it the best world for us and our future generations, our children. Who's coming along?
Ashley Moran, Elon Local News.
The Democratic primary is just a couple weeks away. If you're age 18 to 36 and are interested in joining Greenberg, Young Dems of Alamance meets the first Friday of every month at the county's Democratic headquarters.
After a semester without safe rides, the Student Government Association is introducing a new partnership with Uber to give students discounted Uber rides on Thursday through Saturday nights from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. SGA passed a bill to allocate $30,000 this semester to cover the discount. But before the program becomes official, SGA will conduct 2 pilot periods to test it out. The first will begin after spring break and end after spring semester. The discount allows you to save up to $3.50 per ride, but it can only be used twice during the 8-week period. In order to qualify, your Uber account must be tied to your Elon email. Students can then use a link provided by Student Body President Jack Johnson to register their account for the discount. SGA is planning to set a radius around campus. If your ride starts or ends outside of it, it will not qualify for the discount. Otherwise, the discount will automatically be loaded into your account and you can choose which rides to use it on. Elon sophomore Malia Takei co-sponsored the bill, and she says the radius is most likely going to span from Fat Frogs to LabCorp. Takei says the discount will best benefit students riding in groups, but if you have to ride alone, SGA has taken safety into account. The university will have access to any complaints made during rides paid for using the discount.
It's the thing that students are already using most of the time. There was only like 1,000 students who were using safe rides, but there were 8,000 rides given by Uber during this time period last semester. And so this was the best way to help the student body.
The university also has to still sign the contract with Uber to finalize the discount, but Takei says she's not worried it will not go through with the deal. If SGA finds the program successful after the second pilot period, it will consider continuing to fund the program using student activity fees.
The deadline to file for SGA candidacy is fast approaching, with 34 positions up for grabs. By 5 p.m. next Monday, February 24th, all candidates need to have their election packet completed and their candidacy statement submitted on Phoenix Connect. This year, there are 4 new finance board positions you can run for. These will be non-SGA positions that serve on an advisory committee overseeing allocations of funds collected via student activity fees. For those interested in applying or learning more about the positions, they can visit the SGA page on Phoenix Connect. And there are around 60 Airbnbs and VRBOs in the Elon Burlington area. Our Grace Morris spoke to one man with a special passion for the hospitality business.
Behind thick bamboo, down a gravel road, lies a hidden little neighborhood. But there's something a little bit different about this place.
VRBO and Airbnb, I guess you know how they work.
That's Clint York, a man born and raised in Elon with a passion for projects.
And I love to renovate houses and I love to landscape, and it sort of allows me to do the two things that I like to do and make money. So it's a win, win, win.
York owns 4 properties in this complex and more around the Elon area, all of which are vacation rentals or Airbnbs. York has designed or built all of the houses. But with running a business like this, York says it doesn't come without its challenges.
In business, you always get 95 to 99% of your problems from less than 5% of your people. We've hundreds and hundreds of people stay, and in the time that we've had all of our stays, we've had two bad reviews.
The prices for York's homes range from $225 to $550 a night. And while the winter is usually the slow season for York, the few times a year he can count on being fully booked, he raises the prices.
When a lot of times when a parent will bring their freshman child here, stay one night, and go home and book every possible parents' weekend, check-in weekend, check-out weekend.
But despite the struggles, he has no intentions to quit anytime soon.
My definition of wealth is 3 things: being healthy, controlling my own time, and having enough, and sharing it. Boom.
Grace Morris, Elon Local News.
Elon, the Country Inn and Suites and the Drury Inn and Suites cost anywhere from $99 to $149 for one night. While York requires visitors to stay for at least 2 nights between the local hotels and his cheapest property, York's home is an average of $100 cheaper.
And coming up after the break, a sleek new truck has joined the Elon Fire Department. Just how much is the new vehicle? Those details straight ahead.
You're watching Elon Local News.
In just over 2 weeks, North Carolinians will head to the polls to vote in the primaries. On the ballot here in Alamance County are over a dozen primaries, including one for Alamance County's Board of Commissioners.
For the Democratic field, 5 candidates are on the ballot, with 3 moving to the general election in November. Tonight, those Democratic candidates are debating in downtown Burlington, and that's where we find our Liam Collins. Liam, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. The debate here is supposed to get started here in just a few minutes. The owners of the Front Street Bottle Shop right behind me, they're telling me they're expecting over 100 people here to see the 5 Democratic candidates for Alamance County Commissioner. They're expected to cover a wide range of issues from education to immigration. It's all part of this larger effort, party leaders tell me, to flip Alamance County blue. But keep in mind, this is a county that went 13 points to President Trump and 15 points to Republican Senator Richard Burr in 2016. But Democratic candidate for North Carolina State House Ricky Hurtado says the issues affecting this county are much bigger than red or blue.
I mean, I think part of it in connecting with those families is actually being out in the community. We've been knocking on doors already in January, you know, rainy days, cold days, it doesn't matter. We've been connecting with voters individually and making sure we hear from them. It's much less about us telling them this is what our platform is, this is what I'm running for, but it's more about let me hear your concerns, let me hear about what's happening in your life.
The primary election is Tuesday, March 3rd. There are 3 open seats up for grabs. We'll have full coverage of tonight's event on our website, elonnewsnetwork.com. For now, reporting in downtown Burlington, Liam Collins, Elon Local News.
Liam, thank you. We contacted the Alamance County Republican Party for comment on tonight's event. They said, quote, "We have a great group of candidates and we have confidence that once they get past the primary that they will win in the fall." The Burlington Police Department is releasing a new app to help community members submit anonymous tips. The app is called P3, and the department says it will promote a partnership with the community. Right now, Burlington PD only allows anonymous tips by phone call, but the new app will allow the department to also monitor and claim rewards for their anonymous tips. Community Resource Officer Bobby Davis says the app has already seen success in North Carolina.
Greensboro, High Point, and Charlotte is already using this app, and I've talked to them extensively about it. They all pleased about the app. In fact, Crime Stopper tips, what they're seeing, has gone up due to the ease of submitting a tip.
Davis says the app will be available for anybody to use early next month.
Alamance County's leadership class of 2020 teamed up with the Burlington and Graham Fire Departments this past Saturday in the name of safety. Community members went door to door in Burlington, Graham, and Haw River, offering free fire alarm checks and installations. Leadership class member and Elon alumna Jessica Farmer says her time in Elon's interactive media program has helped her learn new ways to give back to the community.
And that's just been nothing but amazing for me. It's given me a totally different perspective on how just to make the community a better place, how I can make a community a better place, especially in my role in communications, which I thank Elon so much for that through the interactive media program, giving me the skills and the tools, and now I'm able to put that into the community and spread a message to make the community a better place.
It was the Burlington Fire Chief Gregory Britt who came up with the idea for the free fire alarm checks and installations. One of his hopes was to strengthen the fire department's community relationships.
Over in Elon, the fire department had a busy weekend as well, receiving a brand new fire truck. The new truck is 2 feet taller, 3 feet longer, and does the job of 2 trucks in one. Elon Fire Chief Alva Sizemore says he is proud of the new fire truck and is excited to see what it does.
It's kind of, everybody has kind of like really been interested in it. We've gotten a lot of media requests. We've seen magazines and social media across the nation, people contacting and making remarks on Facebook about this truck. So we're kind of proud of that here in Elon. So.
The truck cost $652,000 and was paid for by auctioning off 2 older trucks. The firefighters are being trained in the new truck and it should be fully operational the first week of March. The fire department is hoping it will serve the community for 20 to 25 years.
Overall, you could see there was sun out. It wasn't cloudy.
It was great to feel the sun again today.
It was great to feel
all this rain. Anne-Marie Bonner joins us from Citroen Plaza with the latest forecast. Anne-Marie, good evening.
Thanks, Brian and Maeve. Today, students were enjoying the nice, beautiful spring weather, walking around campus, and enjoying eating outside with their friends. However, that sunny weather will not continue for the next 3 days. Tuesday, it will be raining with a high of 63 degrees and a low of 46. Wednesday will be raining again with a high of 50 and a low of 36. Thursday, it will also rain with a high of 43 and a low of 27. Friday, it will be partly cloudy with a high of 42 and a low of 22, so make sure to grab your winter jacket. And Saturday, it will be sunny with a high of 52 and a low of 29. That's your Phoenix 5-day forecast. Back to you in the studio.
Anne-Marie Bonner, thank you.
After the break, how an athlete's academic advisor goes beyond her duties.
Our Caitlin Rundle is here with us to break down what happened in sports this weekend. Caitlin, what's new?
Thanks, Maeve and Brian. Well, this weekend was baseball's opening series. The Phoenix played at home against Delaware State University, sweeping that series. Baseball will be away Tuesday night against UNC Chapel Hill at 3 p.m. before coming back home for another series against UMass Lowell. Men's basketball played Drexel University for its senior day. The Phoenix honored 2 graduating players, Marcus Sheffield II and Seth Fuller. The Phoenix came out with a win against the Dragons, giving it some momentum for its next 3 away games before tournament play. It will next play against James Madison University Thursday night at 7 p.m. Women's basketball played this weekend in its annual Play for K game. Players and spectators alike made donations leading up to the game towards the K-Yow Fund, named after a former Elon coach. During the game, cancer survivors were commemorated at various points, including former women's basketball player Vanessa Corbett, who had her jersey retired. This made her the first female athlete to have this honor. The 1982 graduate and breast cancer survivor said this day will hold a special place in her heart.
This event took place after I turned 60, then the celebration, and then it tied in with Kay. So the jersey is great, but being a survivor speaks volumes. It just volumes of how I feel.
The Phoenix did lose to the Northeastern Huskies 69-45, but will be back at it Friday at Delaware for its first game of 3 away. For more on Vanessa Corbett, make sure to check out this week's Pendulum. Graduate student athletes are not uncommon at Elon. 2 active football players are currently enrolled in an Elon graduate program, but Marcus Sheffield, a transfer graduate, has brought a new challenge to the men's basketball academic advisor. Our Alex Reynolds has the story.
On the court, success can be attributed to coaching, play, or preparation. But off the court, there is one main person the men's basketball team turns to. Casey Crenshaw is the academic advisor to the Elon men's basketball team. Crenshaw works with the athletes on everything from time management to job applications. Crenshaw says that new athletes tend to get the most attention from advisors since the initial transition to college can be difficult.
Kind of giving any advice we can to help make that transition easier so that you can focus on the main reasons you're here. The number one is academics, but also having a great athletic experience as well. And if one's going well, the other tends to go well.
In the fall of 2019, a new face stepped onto Elon's campus that would change Elon basketball and give Crenshaw a unique challenge. Marcus Sheffield II is a graduate transfer from Stanford University enrolled in Elon's Master of Business Administration program. Sheffield and Crenshaw first met each other during a recruiting visit to the university.
When I first met her, it was definitely, I got a good feeling about her.
Because of his standing, Crenshaw had to find a balance in dealing with a fifth-year superstar that she hasn't had to do much in her 13 years at Elon.
It's becoming more prevalent in all of college athletics to have transfers and graduate transfers. So kind of figuring out what that looks like when you weren't there for the whole 4 years of undergrad experience.
Crenshaw has had to develop a relationship with Sheffield on the fly. She said that traveling to away games with the team has helped in making up for lost time.
A lot with basketball, so I'm around Marcus a lot because of that. So, we do have that relationship where, we can talk and joke and, talk about how classes are going.
Alex Reynolds, Elon Local News.
Has 3 games in the CAA tournament left in his basketball career. Off the court with the help of Crenshaw, he is hoping to finish his NBA by the winter of 2021.
And Caitlin, what can we expect from men's basketball for the rest of the week?
So, like I said, they have a little bit of momentum coming off of that Drexel win. They've struggled a little bit away previously this season, so they're hoping to really use that momentum to kind of carry them forward because, again, they have their last 3 games of the season before tournament play away. So they're really, really trying to use this momentum from senior day just to kind of propel them through the last 3 games before the tournament. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, great. Thank you, Caitlin.
Yep.
And another week, another edition of The Pendulum. Managing editor Anton Delgado is live in the newsroom with a preview. Anton, good evening.
Thank you so much for joining me in the newsroom, everybody. Right behind me, we have our wonderful copy team and design team putting together this week's edition of The Pendulum, which is going to be incredibly exciting. We have a ton of coverage on Black History Month, which will be touching not only on the sports aspect, but also how different Greek organizations on campus have affected the Black experience here at Elon. We'll also have in-depth coverage into the strategic plan, which was launched last Tuesday, and we'll be taking an in-depth look at the SGA's Uber push, which will help students have discounted rides throughout the school year. We'll be distributing all across campus on Wednesday morning, so be sure to be ready to pick up your copy of The Pendulum then. Back to you in the studio.
Anton, thank you.
And if you're looking for things to do on Wednesday, you won't be short of activities. At 7:30 p.m. in the Shar Center, the National Symphony Orchestra of Ukraine will perform. But if classical music isn't your thing, then maybe comedy is. At 8 p.m. on Wednesday, comedian Nicole Byers will be in McCrary Theater. Tickets are available in the sub-office in Mosley. And up next, how one survivor is using her message of hope to give others a place to display their passions. We all have dreams. Some are big and some are small. But for one woman, her dream helped her overcome one of the biggest battles of her life. Maria Ramirez has a story from Colfax, North Carolina.
News no one wants to hear. And for Helene Abraham Katz, she's heard it twice.
My odds were really, really bad. I had very little chance of being here today.
As the 3rd leading cause of cancer death in the U.S., pancreatic cancer has a survival rate of only 9%. But, thanks to a new clinical trial, Helene's health made a remarkable turnaround.
While I was going through chemo for the 2nd time, just over a year ago, I needed something positive to focus on.
It was a dream in the back of her mind that kept Helene's hopes up. Her husband, Boaz, says Helene started designing the store while she was undergoing treatment.
She said that if she's going to come out of this alive, if this is going to work, her dream is going to have a shop, a store filled with artists, local artists.
Helene's dream of owning a store finally became a reality 3 months ago, a year after going into remission.
Every day we say, wow, look at this, look at you, look at what you've done.
Butterflies from around the world now decorate the store, a nod to the store's name, the Butterfly Effect.
So this place really is just, it's my happy space. I love it. I don't feel like I'm working.
Jeweler Vicki Hodges is one of 30 artists from North Carolina who sell handmade pieces at the Butterfly Effect.
It's absolutely thrilling. I make each and every piece from my heart and with love.
Helene says she only receives a small commission from every purchase.
Whereas most of the stores take 40 to 60%, I take 12%. This is for my soul, it's not to make money. I'm not going to get rich out of this.
In the end, she says she has achieved her dream. Maria Ramirez, Elon Local News.
Maeve, what a beautiful story.
I know, and also the beauty of it also in the butterflies, because butterflies are naturally so beautiful, and the life of spring, it just so wonderful.
And people say that they feel connected to butterflies as someone they love that passed, which so beautiful.
Yes, so beautiful.
Well, that's where we'll leave things for this Monday, February 17th. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Brian Ray.
And I'm Maeve Ashbrook. Remember, you can visit us at elonnewsnetwork.com where we are not on the air for the latest news.
And be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at Elon News Network.
Have a great night, Elon.